Paper Plates, episode 7. Beagle.
Yeah.
After this weekend, I was off. Had a nice little vacation.
You deserved it. You deserved it.
Thank you, appreciate you. You said something that hit me. I want to start off with right away, and it's you look at the numbers and the schedule. It's there. I was shocked to hear it. You said in 3 weeks from now, and after the next 2 weeks, it's quite possible the Riders could be in third place.
In third place. And I know I said, what was that, a week or two ago, they were the best team in the CFL. But after what I saw.
We all have said it. That's the crazy part. We all been saying it. And now all of a sudden, you think they could be in third. That's
what I saw this past week. Surprised if they're in third place after their next 2 games. Their next 2 games are against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Labor Day Classic, and the Banjo Bowl. And I would not be surprised. I just saw some things that put me in a bad place with these Roughriders. Number one being their formula for success has been controlling the line of scrimmage, and they weren't able to do that. They truly got exposed. That offensive line by Calgary, defensive line, John Bowman had those boys rolling, and Trevor Harris was getting pounded. Then on the other side, their defensive line, which has been great this year up to that, couldn't get to the quarterback. Yep. And you saw if they couldn't get to the quarterback, their defense is a little rougher a little bit. So I saw that and made me say, wow, maybe they aren't the team I thought they were. And, of course, Brett Lauder. I mean, there has to be something done with that because that could be detrimental big time. And I know it wasn't in this game. I think when he missed it, that kind of took the momentum away from him. I won't say he lost the game, but those 2 areas right there give me concerns for this team. And if Winnipeg can expose those, there's a good chance they're in third place after these next 2 games.
Yeah, one of the things I saw is so. First of all, you think Winnipeg can beat them in the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I'm with you. It's a look. I saw this. Like, the good news for Sask is that they gave up. I think it was. I got down 6. They gave up 6 explosive plays in the air. 6 passing plays of over 15 yards in the air. The good news is, of those 6, 5 of those were straight busts. And so at least if you're the Riders, you're not going back and saying, okay, well, we're not good enough. I don't have good enough players. We need to sign some guys. We need to flip our roster. Almost all of it was in zone, and letting guys free release. Letting guys free release those underneath droppers, not getting hands, not redirecting, and then you got guys flying up the seam. And that was, again, I think 5 of those of the 6 were some sort of guys running free in the secondary. They did a great job with a couple of switch releases too that got guys over.
Right.
But that's the good news for if there is good news for SAS. That's the good news. But on the other side of things too is if you look at a lot of the things they were doing up front, I don't know if they'll be able to have. I don't know if Winnipeg will have the same success that at Calgary did, because that, to your point, Calgary's defensive line is, and then Clarence Hughes. Maybe we could pull up show a quick. I wanted to show this one play from Clarence Hughes though. Talk about a speed rusher and a guy this guy has like wide receiver type shake and wiggle.
He's twitchy like that. Yes.
Yeah, and I talked to John Bowman about it. I think he said he's a freak athlete. I think he's like 230 pounds or 20 pounds. He's light.
Right.
Freaky. But take a look at this quick one right here.
Peters dropping. Back to the quarterback, and he is sacked. Busting through over the Calgary Stampeders. Back Harris, and he is grabbed and thrown down.
So it looked like that little shake and hesitation is like that you see from a skilled player. You add that to flow on the other side, and that's massive problem. Anyway, we'll see how this one plays out. 2 weeks ago, sitting here and saying that this Riders team is almost a lock to win the West and running away with the West, and all of a sudden you actually think, and I mean the schedule actually and the standings tell it, there's a possibility that this team, if they lose back-to-back games to Winnipeg, which I don't think they'll lose back-to-back games to Winnipeg. Obviously, you're saying that's an if.
That's it. Do you think they can win both games?
Yeah, there you go. They could. Yeah, to your point, I mean, no, either team can win both. It's not going to be beyond the realm of possibility for either team to win both. It's unlikely. It's really unlikely that Winnipeg beats them twice, but it's possible. And that the fact that that's even a conversation is something. And so, I mean, it is what it is. We look forward to seeing it. And it's obviously a great rivalry.
Last question. Mm-hmm. Calgary is clearly the best team in the CFL. You believe that, don't you?
Yes.
You kind of hesitated. So
I like to think before I answer, and yeah, they are. I had to think about it. I do think there's a lot of people forget about Montreal too without Davis. You know, like once Davis Alexander comes back, there would be a different team. So I definitely.
But Davis Alexander isn't back.
No, I answer the question. Calgary's the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah,
we've been on fuego with these poll questions. That they. This one is yours again. You came up with this one. I thought is good. You mentioned it. We were on the sidelines of the game. I came down, brought my daughters down to the game, to the CNE down there, and watched that. And we were down there watching. You made the comment. We saw Nick doing what he was doing, Arbuckle, right? And you made it. What did you say?
And as I was watching him, a question came in my head: when Chad Kelly comes back, and I don't think he's coming back this year, in my opinion. But if and when he comes back, if it's this year or the beginning of, next year, what's your decision? If Nick Arbuckle continues playing the way he's playing, what do you do? Do you stick with Arbuckle and try to trade Kelly, or do you sit Arbuckle down and put Chad Kelly back into the starting position? That's the question. I'll start this off. If Nick Arbuckle continues playing the way he is, there's no question. You go with Nick Arbuckle. I believe the question I have is his ceiling higher than Chad Kelly's. In my opinion, yes. I mean, that sounds crazy, but yes, when Chad Kelly has been the MOP of this league, he's been implemented in a Grey Cup situation with really no CFL experience and made it happen. But what I've seen out of Nick Arbuckle so far, unless something changes, I think that ceiling is a lot higher. You look at Chad Kelly's numbers.
Time out. Nick Arbuckle's ceiling is much higher than Chad's?
If he continues doing what he's doing right now, yes. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you some numbers. When Chad Kelly won the MOP,
Gator smoked the TV.
He threw for over 4,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. Nick Arbuckle right now is on pace for 5,600 yards and 33 touchdowns.
Okay.
If he continues doing what he's doing right now, that'll be his pace. And if he does that, he's the MOP. If he's the MOP, how do you sit him down?
Got a touchdown, also ran in for a 2-point conversion. Arbuckle to throw, looking deep again to the end zone, touchdown! How about that? Jake Herslow.
We'll go back to the Mike O'Shea. Let's go back to the Mike O'Shea thing from a week ago. Is it a difficult decision? And this is a difficult decision. I would give you that. If you asked me that question 3 weeks ago, I'll laugh you off the set because it's not even a conversation. Chad Kelly is arguably the most talented quarterback in the league. He's shown his skill set is there. His ceiling is not even a question. Who has a higher ceiling between Chad and Nick Arbuckle?
It is a question.
That's fair. That's ceiling. Okay, we're talking about ceiling, and I don't think there is a question. But we'll move on from that. It's now a decision though, and I agree with you because Nick's playing really good football, and there's a possibility that. You do have because of team chemistry, because of the guy doing what he's doing, and the other guys in the locker room. It shows, to yank him out when he's done everything you asked of him. That's can be an issue. We know that. I mean, we saw it with VA not so long ago. So I will tell you my answer to this poll question. I'm starting Chad Kelly. I'm starting my best player when I have no question that he's my best player. I'm putting him in the game. I'm starting him regardless of what Nick Arbuckle does. But that's why it's a question.
Do you think Chad Kelly's ceiling was lowered because of this knee injury? You don't think that's going to impact him any?
If he's healthy. That's one. I would say this. That's kind of a get out of jail free card for the Argos, because if they don't want to play Chad, they don't want to deal with the hassle, they could just say he's not ready yet. They want to make sure he's fully healthy before they put him in. So you can just keep on.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying he's fully healthy, but he's just not the same because of that knee injury.
I got you. But what I'm saying is that if you're the Argos and if Nick's going nuts and they're on a roll, and you think that Chad is back and ready to go back, you can always say to Chad, we want to give you another week, we want to give you another 2 weeks, even though, to your point, he might be healthy. You can use that as a way to buy you some more time to make the decision.
So, but you're saying if Chad is ready to come back, he's healthy, and Nick is still rolling like he's rolling, you're putting in Chad Kelly. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
When I have a guy who is arguably the most talented in the league, or up there top 3 most talented quarterbacks in the league, and I have a guy that probably wouldn't have started on any team coming in. Well, he didn't start on any team this year. Wasn't good enough to be a starter on any team. I put that talented guy in. Not to take away from anything that Nick did, and also, to be fair, and this is not talking about everything Nick's done this whole season, but I mean, I could have thrown with my left hand against that Lions secondary that we can put up 400 yards passing. I mean, they were letting guys.
Ches. Oh, that's where we're going, huh, Ches? That's where we're going, huh? Okay.
I mean, I said not to take away from anything he's done this year. I said that. I prefaced it myself.
You just did.
I talk about this game. He was letting guys run free.
Okay, but he's leading the league in passing yards.
I'm not talking about the whole season. We can move on from this.
He's second in passing touchdowns.
We can move on from this. I'm with you. We agree to disagree. Let's move on. Okay. I'm with you. And your argument is strong, and I think a lot of people agree. Let's let the poll speak on this one. And I think you'll probably
leave it at this. I think Chad Kelly is still an exceptional player, but I'm not taking Nick Arbuckle out if he's playing like that. There it is. I'll leave it at that.
The popularity contest. The poll is going to be more people are going to vote for Nick than Chad. Chad's not the most popular guy, so he's not going to win this poll. But let's see how it goes. All right, we're going next. We're going to Jerry.
Yeah, we're going to go to Jerry Jones and the Micah Parsons drama, the soap opera that is.
Yeah. Okay. Look, it's. Go ahead. Start us off, Milt.
Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons are dealing with some contract situation, and Jerry Jones is basically saying that why are we even about an agent? Micah and I have had conversations. He's basically saying we had a deal done, and he doesn't understand why the contract hasn't been signed, because him and Micah have talked and they worked out something. Now Micah wants to get his agent involved, and Jerry was like, "You don't need an agent."
What's your take?
We worked this out.
If they agree with something in March, which is when they had that conversation, they said they agree with numbers and term. Jerry says that Micah and him agree with numbers and term. What's your is that not binding, but do you think that from a standpoint of their relationship and good faith, you think that means anything?
Has anyone else seen these terms? Nope. Has anyone else seen the agreement that they supposedly agreed to?
Nope.
So it was. What are the terms of it? Let someone see it. Let his agent, his representatives, his lawyers, whoever, let someone see it so they can determine if this is a fair deal.
I think that Jerry Jones is being a bully or attempting to be a bully. I think Jerry Jones, his ego is all over the place here, and his ego is stamped all over this negotiation and conversation, and that's really what it is for him. He doesn't like the fact that this young player in his third year or whatever Micah Parsons is coming in and telling Jerry that, don't talk to me, talk to my agent. I'm not talking about this. And Jerry thinks you can't talk to him like that, or you can't, you don't call the shots. I call the shots. And I think that's what it's all about.
I've said this before, and if all this is true, first of all, Micah Parsons shouldn't have never had conversations with Jerry Jones. That's what you have.
He claimed he didn't know it was about the contract. They were going and talking about, like I said, they were originally talking about leadership, about off-season, about some leadership. And that's what he thought the conversation was about. And then they got into contract.
You should have shut it down from there. Jerry Jones, he basically wants to be a judge in court and cut out the lawyers. He wants to say, okay, you can just negotiate with me. We don't need lawyers. And that's how he wants to do things, because he's done it in the past. He's done it with Michael Irvin. He's done it with Charles Hay. He's done it with some guys in the past, and I guess it worked out for them. I'm not sure how he thinks things are going to work out now, but there's an agent involved. He has to understand that. And I don't know why he doesn't want to talk to Micah Parsons' agent, because that's what agents are put in place for. I'm sure Jerry Jones has been sued before. I guarantee you he didn't represent himself. He had lawyers involved. Right. I promise you he had lawyers involved.
Yes.
Now lawyers and representatives want to get involved, but he don't want them involved.
Right.
Like you said, he's a bully and he wants to control everything.
That's it, 100%. If you're Micah Parsons, because of the disrespect that he's shown, how about this? If I'm Micah Parsons, and because of the disrespect that Jerry has shown, unless Jerry comes out and publicly acknowledges the way he's acted here, if I'm Micah Parsons, it would be really tough for me to go back and play for the Cowboys. I would want to play for somebody else. Now, Dallas is a great place to play, but if Jerry came back and they had a conversation, he felt respected. If Micah felt respected, then maybe. But at this point, if I'm Micah Parsons, I would look to play elsewhere, because I don't think that Jerry has shown me a lot of respect. And I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about how the conversations he's had when he's outwardly said, I don't want to talk about this, talk to my agent. And yeah, Jerry's response to that.
I consider him the face of the franchise. What do you say to that?
I'm glad that you recognize that. We got him for 3 years, no matter what.
But he can't go play anywhere else. Jerry already said, I got him for the next 3 years. I got him. He's not going to grant his wishes and trade him away. He has him for the next 3 years. He's under contract this year, and then the next 2 years he can franchise tag him. So he's not going to be playing anywhere else. It's not going to happen.
If you're a player, let's say this gets so contentious and Jerry wants to win so bad, and Micah Parsons he's different than a lot of other guys in the last 15, 20 years, like Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. These guys made $5 million, $7 million, $13 million. Not the type of money that Micah Parsons is going to make. Is there a way that a player, and this can happen for sure, if you want to say you want to franchise me, you can tag him for 2 years, to your point, you have him on this year, you tag him for 2 years. Is there a way a player like Micah Parsons or somebody says, okay, fine, I'm going to play because next year I think the franchise is 25 million?
It may be more, because his money this year is $25 million.
Oh no, last year the franchise I think is $40 million. Let me check. Anyway,
average of the top 5 players at his position. They determine
so
the franchise tag.
Let's go this. If he goes out there and says, this is what guys can do. You go out there and say, because you don't want to pay the fine of holding out. You don't want to you go out there and half-ass. You go out there and come off the edge, don't hit anybody. I'm saying if Jerry wants to play hardball, he has to pay you the money for the 27 season. The estimated tag will be $31.8 million. For the 26 season, next year, the estimated tag will be $26.5 million. So he's got him for the next 3 years, 30, 55, 56, and this year he's making 20, 56.
25.
So almost $80 million over the next 3 years. He has to pay you $80 million, a huge part of your salary cap. No, you don't think that's a possibility, a way to?
Oh, a player's not gonna do that, Davis, and the teammates wouldn't allow him to do it, and the coaches wouldn't put him on the field.
No, time out. You're missing something here. It's not that a player's gonna come and not try. The reasons I've told you I'm not playing for you. We're at a standstill. You're holding me hostage. You're using bully tactics with me. If I sit out and don't show up, I get fined. $50,000 a day. I don't get my salary. I don't get anything. And this is your way to fight back. The collective bargaining agreement in the NFL holds players hostage. You let them tag me for 2 years and not be a free agent after my contract is up. So
Right.
it's not that he's going out there and not trying. It's that he's going to say, hey, this is my leverage. This is what I'm doing. You want to make me you want to force me on the field? Here's what you get. Now trade me.
That's not going to happen, David. That's not going to happen. Player's not going to do that. His teammates would rip him up. They throw him off the field because now you're messing with their money. You're messing with the coach's money.
Then trade me then. Then trade me.
That's not going to happen either. That's not going to happen either.
So then what's the answer then? What do you do then, Milt? What do you do if a player can't do that? If Jerry Jones says, too bad, you're playing for what you're playing, I don't give a shit, too bad, take it or leave it, I'm the boss, I run your ass. You work for me.
Have to sign. He's going to eventually have to sign, and you can put this on the PA for negotiating that horrible deal where they allow these owners to franchise these guys for 2 years after their contract is up. You can complain to the NFLPA, but not to the owner. You're eventually going to have to sign a contract. You signed a rookie contract. You're under contract this year. And I know it sounds crazy, but you're going to eventually have to sign. You can't go out there and I don't like to use that word, SSASS. You can't do that. You're messing with folks' money. You're going to get the coaches fired. The players on your team are going to be mad at you.
So let me play the counter argument for this. Then, okay, you're right. And I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm not saying do it for every player to do this. I'm saying when you're being forced into a corner. The other thing is if you're saying the players are going to be mad at you, you're messing with their money, the coaches fired. You know what? You know who they should be mad at? Jerry Jones. They should be mad at Jerry Jones. Then tell Jerry that to trade this man. Tell him to pay him what he's worth. Or trade him and tell him you can't negotiate. If you want to talk to him, negotiate with his agent like everyone else in the NFL is forced to do. That's the point. So you're telling me you're not going to talk to my agent? He's not talking to his agent. He said already, I'm not talking to you.
I'm not defending Jerry.
So I'm not playing then. You're not talking to his agent?
I'm not defending Jerry. I'm not defending Jerry in any shape or form. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying what's not going to happen with Micah Parsons getting out there and not playing hard. If he's on the field, he's going to go hard. 100% guarantee that. He's not going to be out there and saying, okay, you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to play hard. That's not going to happen. But I'm not defending Jerry in any shape or form.
I'm just looking at it as an option. You're giving me no options. The way Jerry's doing it, you won't speak to my agent, you won't talk. You're giving me no options. I'm looking at that as a part of leverage. I don't think that professional athletes go out and not try. But I'm saying if you're going to force me into a corner, that's some of the leverage that I would possibly use. But we can move on. I'm not going to want to put my body on the line for someone that doesn't respect me and won't play by the rules.
That's the tight end, Zach Davidson. Swing.
All right. So there is, same page. No, there is zero chance that this guy Shilo Sanders was not going to make this team. Shilo Sanders, Todd Bowles is not going to cut Shilo Sanders. If he's a player and is a guy that's going to contribute for this team, Todd Bowles is not going to cut him because he throws one punch in a game. He's gonna reprimand him and he'll be on that roster. Shilo Sanders started 21 games in college. He had, I believe, 1 sack and 1 interception in 21 games.
That's it. Not many knockdowns either, I don't think.
He likely got to Tampa Bay because of his relationships. Those who want to sensationalize his punch and say that his lack of discipline cost him his NFL dream, you guys are you're like that guy right there. I don't know who he is, but you're fabricating and you're storytelling. That's not reality.
When you go undrafted, NFL draft, and you're a college free agent, your best case scenario on the practice roster. Let's be honest. Very few undrafted college football players make an NFL roster. I think it's maybe, I want to say 9 to 15%, somewhere around there. There's not many guys that are going to make the team. You have to make some extraordinary plays because you're not going to get too many opportunities to make plays. If they don't have much invested in you, they're not going to give you many opportunities. I don't care if your last name is it's Sanders, Brady, or whatever it may be. You're not going to get many opportunities. So apparently his opportunities, he didn't take full advantage of them, and that's not why he's not on the team. But the fact that this gentleman is saying he didn't make the team because he had an altercation during the game and got a unnecessary roughness, whatever penalty, that had nothing to do with him not making the team, not one bit.
Can we talk? This wasn't on our rundown, but can we talk about the other Sanders? You want to talk about?
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about Shedeur. So there's a lot of talk about Shedeur when he played in the last preseason game. He was put in with a bunch of guys who basically aren't on the team anymore. 4 to 5 offensive linemen got cut. A bunch of other players, he was out there, got cut. So the narrative, and I truly believe this narrative is, they didn't want him to go out there and have success again. They didn't want him to go out there and have success again because now you create a controversy. Now you have fans and people saying, well, like, hold on. He needs to be playing now. I know we got Joe Flacco, but now he needs to be seriously considered for being a starter. That would have been the narrative.
You think that the Tampa Bay Bucks didn't want him to have success? They did not want Shedeur Sanders to have success. That's why they played him.
Cleveland Browns.
Pardon me. You think that the Cleveland Browns didn't want Shedeur to have success, and that's why they played him in the second half of that game with the third and fourth string offensive line. Now you're starting to remind me of a guy that works at ESPN named Brian Clark. Now you're starting to give me the black man conspiracy theories. You really believe this right now?
Dude, there have been – he's the most polarizing figure right now, definitely in Cleveland, maybe in NFL. There have been fans who've been saying, hey, he deserves an opportunity to maybe play right away. And if he goes out there, if they implement him with those starters and he goes out there and he plays well, you have a controversy now. There's people are saying, okay, well, hold on. Maybe he deserves a chance.
Okay.
We have a 40-year-old Joe Flacco who's already peaked. Downhill now. He maybe has a year left, and that's it. Maybe a few games. Maybe we need to start this young guy in there up and coming. We've seen enough of him. Well, maybe he can go out there and make it happen.
Okay, so Kevin Stefanski, who could be on the hot seat. I don't know. He's a pretty good coach, but he hasn't had success. Andrew Berry, their GM, a black man. They don't want Shedeur to succeed because they don't want the headache. He could be potentially their starter, get them wins, help them get over the hump, be their franchise guy, but they don't want to potentially have that issue. So you think that they're willing to put him in a bad situation to make sure he doesn't have success? You actually believe that?
Put him in a situation where it was going to be hard to succeed. I didn't say put him in. I said put him in a situation where it was going to be hard to succeed. I'm thinking that was the narrative that was created. And I'm not that angry black man. That's not me. I'm a beautiful black man. I can say that much. I think that's part of it.
Clark has crossed the border.
That's part of it. So do you honestly think this man should have been a 5th-round draft pick?
No.
He should have dropped that.
No. He should have been drafted higher than that.
So you think there was some collusion around the fact that he went in the 5th round? Do you believe that?
Collusion, no.
Why do you think he went to the 5th round?
Because I think people didn't want to deal. If you're a first-round pick, a second-round pick, someone that's likely going to start or play right away for your team, you will deal with the headaches and the attention that comes with that. If someone is going to be a 3rd or a 4th-round pick and likely be a backup, a third-string guy, you don't really want to deal. You don't want to deal with the headaches that come with that. Your media department, everything else, the distraction that comes with it. So I think that if he's not going to be a first-rounder, he's tougher to take in the 2nd, 3rd round where he should have landed because of distractions that come with him.
Okay, what did you just say? The headaches and distractions.
Right.
If they put Sanders in there and he plays well, there's going to be headaches and distractions because folks are going to be calling for Sanders to play. And I truly believe he shouldn't play. Yeah, I think Flacco should play because he has that experience. I think it's very rare that you can put a rookie in there. I don't care if he was the first pick in the draft or the last pick, whatever, and he's going to have success. But if Sanders goes out there and plays well, There's going to be people calling for him. You just proved my point when you said that. There's going to be people calling for him to start. Like, get him in there right away. The second Flacco struggles, get Sanders in there or put him in there right away. That's what they didn't want to deal with, and I think that's why they believe they put him in a situation where it's going to be hard for him to succeed.
Point taken. It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for checking us out again. Another episode of the Paper Plate Show with Stegall and Sanchez.
Baby!
Subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do, baby. Just keep checking us out.
Appreciate you.